tuition fees, foods, diapers of my brother's in-laws child. Oh, I don't want to offend my in-laws, and of course to my wife. I don't want to hurt her, but then I am worried that my savings will eventually zero balance. Although I have pensions every month, but it's not huge amount. And what if I have emergency operations or any of them will be admitted in the hospital? At first, I didn't mind it, but as time goes by, I saw the family being dependent on us and seems lazy on finding something to be productive. It's okay with me if I saw them working, planting, or have some livelihood, but no, all I can see is just sitting, talking, and just kill the time. And if they need to...
And his bank account.
And if they need something, they ask, what should I do? I love my wife very much. She is the reasons of making me smile again. But then I'm exhausted of all the money out. We'll wait your response. I know you're a busy person. Gary. Gary, what a huge problem you have.
Honey, are we supposed to be saying a name there?
Yeah, I didn't complete his name, just the first name. There's a lot of Gary, there's a lot of Lawrence.
Gary, here's what you do. The first thing that you do is you go into the bathroom.
Why?
Every morning, you go into the bathroom and you stand in front of the mirror and you practice for 5 minutes saying no, 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 no. And that's the first thing that you start to do. Now, the second thing that you start to do involves all of those things that you will have to learn about how to do these things nicely and not offend everybody. But it sounds like you're already in the boat. You've already established that they can come to you and get money. And now you're realizing that it's not such a great idea. So what you can do is you can also learn to say, sorry, no budget. Now, Filipinos, even when they can come to the rich foreigner, because you are a rich foreigner, do you work? No. Are you able to live? Yes. You're a rich foreigner. Okay? Now, they'll come to you, and as you have observed, you will be included in their budget. Their finances include you. So just in the same way that you have a certain amount of every week, a certain amount that you pay the rent and the food and the power and all of these things, and you have them in little compartments, even jam jars, right? They also have the same, but you are one of those jam jars.
It couldn't be so hard. This is what I'm gonna say to you, sir.
Those are the facts.
You know, I think, yeah, it's over the limit, right?
Yes.
You know?
He's reached his limit, yes.
Yeah, but what I'm gonna advise you, sir, is give them livelihood, right? For example, you've been giving them a month for the tuitions or foods every month. What if you give them a capital so they could start up? Talk to them, gather them, and saying, let me finish, darling. In my views, okay? Not in my husband's views, foreigner's mind. In my views, what you're gonna do is gather them and tell them, look, my money is not forever, okay? And my support is not forever. There is a limit. So what we're gonna do, so to able to sustain with you and to able to help, because before I arrive in this scenario, you both alive. You both do your part. Why is it now you're not doing your part? It seems like the world stopped and you all been facing on me. So what you're gonna do is you says, look, I'm gonna tell me what is your strength. What do you think that you can excel? and then let's do the will help you the capital, and you need to make sure that it works, because I'm not there always to help. Let me finish, darling.
I'm letting you finish, honey.
I know if it's not like my idea, but that's what I think, because at the end of the day, that's still your family, that's still your wife's family, right? And you cannot allow them to be, to be hungry, to be to have a headache, or to go. So you just let them guide them where they can able to sustain on their life and have a livelihood. That's what I think. Rather than telling them, look, you said no, I said no. Rather than all put their face, no. What you're gonna do is just a little.
Like I said, the first thing you do is practice saying no. But the second thing that you do is you learn how to do this in a way that does not offend. You weren't listening for that little part of
I did.
You were working out what you were going to say next.
I did.
If you indicate to them that you are willing to come up with some capital, oh my God, just that name, that word.
Hun, the capital what I mean is just maybe 5,000 pesos.
Well, honey, we've done that and we've tried that, haven't we? And it hasn't worked.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
It hasn't worked.
Yeah, okay.
Right,
I think the best solution is tell them, look, I cannot provide all your needs. I'm not a fountain foreigners. Right?
Right, but if you do that, that will be a big confrontation.
Okay.
So listen, just listen for a moment, honey. You're not going to have a big confrontation. We never brought any one of your family in and said, now listen, I'm not an endless fount of money. I can't do this. I can't be doing that. We never did that.
No, we never did.
Right.
That's why I
now,
said to give a capital.
Here's the difference. What we did was we offered work.
But what if they don't have work?
I'm sure that he'll think of something that they could do. Now, look, it's a little bit like if you're in America, especially you're in California, oh my God. If you're in California, you'd be used to going onto the freeway, and at the entrance to the freeway will be somebody that's holding up a card saying, we'll work for food. Now, I don't know whether you've ever tried to speak to one of those people and say, can you clean my car for a Big Mac meal? And they'll look at you sideways and say, get real. Okay? They're not there working for food. The point is that if you make it so that there is something that they have to do in return for the money that you give, that's another thing. The other thing that I did learn from Beth when I came was that someone may approach you and ask for 1,000 pesos. Now, you can, in all honesty, say, I can't afford to give you 1,000 pesos because this person asked me and that person, and from what you say, this would be true for you. So what you would do is you would give them 200 pesos. Now we've done that and been quite successful at doing that. Fortunately, as far as the work goes, we never expect anybody to do something for nothing. Now I know that may sound very cynical, but we don't do that. We offer it. Now if someone is doing something for you, don't expect them to do it for nothing.
Okay.
Pay them.
You're finished. Let me have my part. Okay.
You already had your
No,
part.
I let you have my part yet.
Go on.
So what I think, sir, right, about your concern, you're in a hard positions, right?
Yes.
You're in hard positions, but I think you're able to help them, but you need to have a limit on it. For example, on tuitions on the brother, you can help that, you can continue that, right? Because I'm sure that that brother or sister, whatever is that, when he or she graduated, she can help the family, and it will be it will be take out the burden to your wife, right? You got me? So do not
Yes.
do not delete that. Do not take that away. But about other members of the family, and and also the supplies of food to your mother and father-in-law, you can provide that, right? But other who is already been married already, diaper, you should tell them that we have a limit, and you need to explain that to your wife, right? You need to explain that to your wife that, look, I can help your family, but there's a limit. Because what I feel right now is like I feel like an ATM. What I feel like now is like I am their, what you call that, savior when it comes to financial. And I didn't see that they're working, and they are being dependent on us, and they become lazy. That's what I feel it.
None of this will fly to your wife, I can tell you that.
Yeah,
It's one of those things. You can sit and you can talk to a friend who never stops criticizing and slagging off his brother. Don't make the mistake of joining in,
darling.
because he will say to you, hey, wait a minute, that's my brother.
Yeah, but you can say to them, look, I know it's your brother, but you're going to say it in a nice way, right? Where
Yes.
you're gonna say to your wife, look, I need to talk to you. And I think it's better if you're going to show your passbook, right? Or your savings.
No, I don't think that's a good idea either.
Why?
Because he's handing over the decisions and offering evidence. He doesn't have to offer any evidence at all.
Okay.
Let me finish my sentence, darling. He doesn't have to offer any evidence. Look, because if he lets them look at his passport, and he's got, let's say that he's got 50 or 60,000 pesos in his passport, they'll say, oh my God, you've got 60,000 pesos? The amount that you have in your passport will not be real. You do not trust other people to make your decisions about whether you can afford something. Yes, dear.
That's your wife.
We're not talking about his wife. We're talking about his extended family.
No, what I mean, listen to my explanation first, okay? Remember, the wife and him will talk, and she's going to tell her wife, look, this is what our money is, right? So once we continue giving that to your brothers, to your extended family, this amount will drain, and it will be zero balance later on. And if you have some emergency, for me, for example, I will be admitted, I will be bite by the dog, I will be bite by the king cobra, where should we go?
Well, if it's a king cobra, it'll be to the local funeral directors.
Let me finish. So just like that. So you're going to explain to your wife, and you're just gonna say, look, I love your family. I love your family. I want to help them. But we need to have a limit on what we can do. Because I'm not a fountain. I'm not a fountain of a dollar, And you're just gonna tell to your wife, look, you are the reasons why my smiles is back, but I don't want you to be the reasons why I broke, right?
No, that's a threat.
Okay.
That's a threat, and you would not do that. One of the things that I learned.
Sometimes we're
one of the
opposite
things
side.
that I learned, if she'll just stop hitting me for a moment, I learned when I came here that I wasn't that great a son when my mother was alive, when my father was alive, when my family was alive. Now that I'm an old fart, okay? And now I realize, if I felt like you did, wait a minute, I'm being used here, I'm being used unfairly, I'm expected to pay this and pay that and pay that. I began to look at it that Beth's brother is like my brother, and as soon as I considered that he was like my brother, then things changed. How did I do that? I realized that when one of her brothers came and needed help, I imagined that it was my brother. And if I imagined it was my brother, I would never turn him away.
Yeah.
Which is what Beth is talking about. Let me finish. And that's one of the most important things, is that you have to feel that this is your family.
Yeah.
So I don't know how many there are in your family. We have another 9 brothers and sisters.
Okay, you're finished, darling. This is my
No,
final thought.
I'm not finished actually, but you're finishing for me.
My final
Aren't you,
thought.
darling?
Yeah, my final.
Go ahead,
You
then.
know, my final on this
Your
is
turn for a little while.
support the family. You know, because life is short. But you know, for me, sir, all you need to do is share. Just have a limit. You know, just have a limit and let them stand on their own. And if you think, try and error. Try to give them a livelihood for them to stand on their own feet. And at the same, what do you call that? And if it didn't working well, then at least you try your best. And you're gonna speak to your wife that, look, I want to help your family, but we need to have a limit. For example, the tuition. You pay the tuition. For example, the food. For instead of you're just gonna budget your father and your mother-in-law, so you're just gonna budget the food, right? And then others also, if your brother-in-law is asking for something, you're just gonna say, for example, 500 or 1,000 pesos. You just give half and says, this is what I can give. So you need to find a way in order to give the other half, right? So by that, they will be forced to work and find way to be dependent, because you're not there always to willing to give hand to them.
Yeah, all of that will be, not all of that, but telling them that you're not going to be there always is not, that's not going to work.
It's a very long video. It's a very long video, and it's very long problem, and all I can say is just, it's up to you.
What she's done in the past is, anyway, don't give us your problems, it's your problems.
Yeah.
Sort it out. No, you need to learn to say no, and to do it in a nice way. And you need to cut down the amount that you give.
That's what I did, darling.
Right, if they ask for 1,000, then give them 300 or 400 and say, that's what I can afford.
That's what I advise.
Yes, darling, I'm agreeing with you.
Okay.
Okay, that's what it's called. I'm agreeing with you.
Okay.
Now, do you want to end?
Yeah. So what's your what's your final advice?
I just gave it, but you weren't listening because you got your arms folded.
I think my advice to you, sir, is enjoy life, right? Right?
Look,
Don't stress.
don't expect